are walking through without doing a state of mind check-in. So visualize yourself in bed in the morning. You've probably got the pillow over your head because you couldn't fall asleep past 4 o'clock because birds were chirping, all sorts of outside noise was irritating you. And you also know that you have a really big project coming up at work that you're presenting today. And you're nervous about that because doing public speaking is something that you're still cultivating, and frankly, you're just still really not into it. You're, thinking also oh, I'm gonna have friends, a dinner with friends later on, which could be, kind of fun at the end of the day. And you're also waking up, kind of reflecting on a conversation that you had with your mom the previous evening, where she was expressing her worry and concern over a relative that you have who has been in the hospital. So that's kind of how you're waking up. You're irritated, you're a little bit nervous, you feel compassion or just upset about this whole family situation. And you get out of bed and you go into the kitchen, you go to get some orange juice, you're reaching for the container, you get the container, you see that it is completely empty. And in frustration, you just chuck it at the garbage and you kind of mutter under your breath that your roommate always does that. And it is really freaking irritating. And you know that the roommate's not there, so you can't walk down the hall to express your frustration. But you look at your phone and you send a text to him that just, it's maybe just kind of states I'm irritated that you did this. And then you get ready for work and you are on public transportation or whatever it is for your commute, and you get to work and you walk in and you're I'm irritated about the birds this morning. I am upset that I didn't get enough sleep. I don't like doing public presentations, and I just am really, my mind is just all over the situation with a family member that's sick. You go into work, you do the presentation, and it goes okay, it's fine. And you leave work, but you're still just really irritated about things. And you're on your commute home when one of your friends sends a text and says, "Hey buddy, are you showing up to dinner? I thought we were all getting together." So you're oh man, forgot about that. So then you reroute and you get there and you kind of feel someone's giving you the stink eye. And you just go home at the end of the day and you just are oh, well, whatever. That was today, and it was pretty irritating, but I got through it. Now we're going to do the same day, starting out with a state of mind check-in. So you wake up in the morning, the birds have been keeping you up, and you say to yourself, okay, the birds they've been kind of annoying. And you take a moment to check in with yourself a little bit more also. And so the suggestion with the state of mind check-in is to think of 3 different adjectives or sentences to describe how you're feeling in the current moment. So in that current moment, when you wake up, you're feeling a little agitated because the birds were chirping and they woke you up. You are also feeling nervous about the presentation, but you say to yourself, I can do this. I have prepared very well for this presentation. And even though being in front of other people speaking makes me nervous, I know my stuff. I've got it. I can do this. And then you can say to yourself too, a third thing of how you're doing that day and saying, and I'm really excited about ending my day catching up with some friends at dinner. And you go into the kitchen and you open the fridge and you see the empty juice container and you take a moment to pause and say, all right, I'm just slightly annoyed by this. So it's speaking to yourself in a better way than saying that you're really pissed off or angry that your roommate did this. And you say to yourself, I don't need to talk about this right now. It's really not that big of a deal. I can get a juice on the way to work. And then you get to work and you're standing in front of the door and you've still got it in your mind, this whole situation with your family member. And you say to yourself, there's nothing that I can do right now to change that. And bringing it into work is not going to really help me. I know it's there. I'm going to leave it at the door. It's an issue that I can revisit later on today. I'm going to do my presentation. I'm going to kick butt with it. And I will have the reward at the end of the day by seeing some friends. So then you go in, you kick butt on the presentation, you're able to reflect and have a really good conversation with someone who's really interested in what you had to present and talk about. You leave work, you get to the restaurant on time to see your friends, and you have a great day. And so that is the power of the state of mind check-in, which is just every once in a while checking in with yourself and saying, how am I doing today? What am I feeling? What's going on with me? Coming up with 3 sentences or 3 adjectives just to give yourself a little bit of a pause, because when you do that, then when you go to the fridge and you see that the juice is all gone, you're better able to calm yourself down, say it's not a big deal, focus on the fact that you have this presentation at work that you really want to do. Then you get to work and you're able to leave an issue at the door, which is the sick relative. And as we go through life, stuff like that is going to be happening all the time when you're going into different situations. You're going to have stuff in the back of your head that's concerning or bothering you, but focusing on all of that as you're going through your day disables you from being present in the current moment. So you can do the presentation, you can answer questions in a really great manner, and then you can remember to do things like go have dinner with your friends and catch up with them and give them some space and talk to them, and spend more time during your day responding to situations rather than reacting. So in the first scenario, the reaction is to just be irritated at the roommate, maybe throw the jug in the trash, going into work, muttering to yourself that you can't do this. And so that's reacting. Responding would be saying to yourself, I am prepared. I know what I'm talking about. I do get nervous in public speaking situations, but I got this. I can do it. And then, responding more in that day too of saying, oh, then I can remember to go and see my friends and enjoy that. So that is it's an overview of the SOAM practice, which is a foundation of this whole course. It's the building block for you to just check in with yourself. You can do it in the morning, you can do it in the afternoon, it doesn't really matter. The suggestion that I have for you right now is to take some time to journal a little bit on your state of mind currently. I think that's really important. Just take a moment right now to jot down, either on a notepad or mentally, just 3 ways that you are kind of showing up in the world right now. And see if you can reframe any of the verbiage that you're giving yourself to give yourself a little more grace. And maybe think of things that are going on right now that when you are going into a new situation today or this week, things that you know that you can just leave it at the door. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means you leave it at the door so that you can be more fully present and engaged in the things that you're doing. So that's the practice for you for today. I do have a note sheet in the resources page for you to be able to work on this practice. And I hope that you are able to take a moment to figure out your current state of mind. Give yourself some, as I said, give yourself some grace, and write those things down, and then just move on. And I'll see you in the next module.